Well, this is wild. Secret meetings. Well, not so secret anymore. All of Donald Trump's top vice presidential picks are spotted entering and exiting Donald Trump's hotel. And right now, former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich, Indiana Governor Mike Pence, and New Jersey Governor Chris Christie all top the short list. But don't count out Alabama Senator Jeff Sessions.
This morning, the presumptive nominee fueling speculation as he and some of his family members visited the home of one of the top candidates, Indiana Governor Mike Pence.
Trump holding a lot of meetings at the Conrad Hotel, still meeting with Newt Gingrich, a meeting that's been going on for an awful long time.
The other top VP contenders said to include New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, who reportedly met with Trump's family yesterday.
He has another meeting coming up this afternoon with Alabama Senator Jeff Sessions.
That announcement is expected at any time. Former New Hampshire Governor John Sununu goes on the record. Good evening, sir.
How are you tonight, Greta?
Good. Well, I bet you're on pins and needles. Everyone's playing the veepstakes game. So, tell me, Newt Gingrich or Mike Pence?
I'm leaning towards Mike Pence. I think there's an advantage in the age difference. I think there's an advantage in having been involved more recently with governors and members of Congress, you know, as a practicing professional. And so I think Mike Pence, if I had to give the DJT some advice, I would tell him it should be Mike Pence.
Well, it's interesting. I think, and of course this is all voodoo, but I think this race will be determined at the debates when there's side-by-side vice president, presidential candidates. And so I think everyone else is pretty much decided, except for the undecideds who will watch that. I'm surprised he doesn't pick Newt Gingrich because I think he'd be powerful at the debate.
Well, I don't think that's the only criteria, although it is part of it. I think what you need is somebody that's going to make the current conservative base a little bit more comfortable, and I think Pence has been much more active involved with them in recent years. But look, he's looking at 4 people that do have political experience, and frankly, I'm very comfortable with the fact, with the 4 people that he's looking at right now.
How about Governor Chris Christie of New Jersey? What's the plus and minus for him for Donald Trump?
Well, I think Chris's biggest problem is that he's from New Jersey, which is adjacent to New York, and you would have a lopsided geographical mix on the ticket. And even though vice presidential picks don't win you places, sometimes that kind of a lopsidedness might be a problem.
By whom?
I'm sorry?
There's a report out, apparently, that's just crossing the wires right now that Trump's gut is Christie. I'm not sure what that means, but that's the report I'm being told. I don't know what that means. Maybe
I didn't understand what you said, Greta.
That in his gut, it's Christie. I don't know. I mean, that's just a report I'm being told. I mean, but it's it's so wild, Governor, because everyone is wildly speculating and looking at all sorts of trying to read the tea leaves.
Look, he's got a great talent at playing the media and keeping your attention, so give him credit for that. He's taking this to the last moment. He's squeezing the last drop out of it, and he's getting all the political advantage he can get out of the intrigue. So I guess that's a positive for the ticket, whomever he adds to the ticket.
Well, everybody's certainly staying by, watching. We're watching everything. We're watching airports and tail numbers. We're watching to see who's leaving what hotels, what family members are moving. I mean, we're almost breathless in this pursuit, trying to figure it out. But anyway, let me bring you another topic. A brand new feud for Donald Trump, this time with the United States Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And in a stunning move, shocking even the New York Times editorial board, Justice Ginsburg hurled insult at the presumptive GOP nominee, which is a big no-no for a sitting Supreme Court justice. And Trump, as I'm sure the viewers are not surprised, hit back hard on Twitter. Here's what Donald Trump tweeted. Justice Ginsburg of the United States Supreme Court has embarrassed all by making very dumb political statements about me. Her mind is shot. Resign. And just a few moments ago, Trump spoke to Bret Baier about it.
For her to come out and to say the kind of things, there's almost something wrong with her. I don't think anybody has ever seen that before.
So are you questioning her mental capacity? Or?
Yeah, I think I am. I think I'm questioning perhaps her mental capacity. Yeah, for her to do that was either a very dumb mistake. She's been criticized by people that would always be on her side. I mean, you tell me the New York Times just wrote an editorial. I think I'm going to have to frame that editorial. Might be the only good one I've ever gotten in the New York Times. But honestly, for her to have done that was an absolute disgrace to the Supreme Court. And she owes the country, our country, an apology. And she owes the Supreme Court of the United States an apology. It was disgusting.
Governor, he had a spat with the Pope, and I think he won because I think the Pope sort of backed down on that one. And now you have this spat with Justice Ginsburg. What do you think?
Well, look, the Washington Post pointed out that she violated the code of conduct for U.S. judges. But more specifically, I think this puts her in a very tough position because a lot of the questions they have to answer have to do with executive branch versus legislative branch. And I think she's put herself in a position where somebody might be pressuring her to recuse herself on those issues. So if she doesn't resign, she might have to think about a lot of recusals.
Well, you know what I think is sort of interesting? It seems like almost a gift to Donald Trump because the Republican Party has been saying since the very beginning the Supreme Court is so important. It's so important who the Supreme Court is. Now you've got the New York Times editorial board, going after Justice Ginsburg for this. I mean, no one's defending her on this, so she's just handed that to Trump for 2016.
I think you're right that amongst a lot of reluctant Republicans who still haven't come aboard after this interesting primary season that we've had, that she might be reminding them again of the importance of this vis-a-vis the Scalia replacement appointment and perhaps her retirement and another one as well.
Well, it certainly is never dull. Anyway, Governor, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks, Greta. Take care.